everyone, and welcome to the Week 30 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start with the Sounders' blowout of the Rapids at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. But Seattle was basically gifted the first goal with a PK in the 10th minute. Colorado defender Marvel Wynn makes like a bird in the box and gets called for it. Easy one for referee Edvin Jurasevich, and for Clint Dempsey, it's his 14th goal of the season. But the real star of the officiating crew in this game? Assistant Mike Kampminer. In the 28th minute, he keeps his flag down on the Obafemi Martins goal. Rightly so. I think Chris Kloot keeps him on. And then in the 45th minute, he does well to raise the flag on Lamar Nagel for offside, canceling out his goal. Great eye, Mike. Next, the StubHub Center, where Chivas USA shocked Real Salt Lake 1-0, but they were frankly lucky to finish the match with 10 men. Check out this 22nd minute Osvaldo Minda studs-up tackle on Luke Mulholland. Sure, he doesn't make contact with the player, but the challenge itself endangers the safety of his opponent. And that, in my opinion, should have been punished with a red card. Instead, Minda only gets a yellow from referee David Gantar, who also called a penalty in favor of the Goats in the 62nd minute. And we take a closer look at it here. From the available footage, it seems like defender Rich Balshin steps on the right foot of Eric El Cubo Torres as they converge near the top of the box. But although Torres falls inside the box, the contact is outside. So to me, the penalty should not have been called, but Torres fails to capitalize anyway. Next to RFK Stadium, where Sporting KC right back Juliao wanted a penalty in the 18th minute for this challenge by Chris Pontius. No call from referee Hilario Grajeda, and I agree. It looks like a fair challenge to me. Then the roles were reversed in the second half. 53rd minute, and it's Juliao clearly clipping Pontius in the box, but no penalty called for DC. The game finishes 0-0. Off to Buckshaw Stadium, where I thought the Earthquakes should have had an early PK. It's the 11th minute, and Sam Cronin is first to this ball in the box, and he gets run over by goalkeeper Donovan Ricketts. Looks like a penalty to me. Referee Kevin Stott didn't see it that way. Fast forward to second half stoppage time. That's when San Jose's Pablo Pintos decided to go for a two-footed wrestling drop kick in the middle of a game. That's the easiest red Stott has ever handed out. Quakes lose the player, and they also lose the game 2-1. So San Jose is out of the playoffs, as are the Chicago Fire and Montreal Impact, who played each other Sunday. Still plenty to look at from Toyota Park. The game finished in a scoreless draw, but I thought Fire forward Quincy Amarikwa had two legitimate claims for a penalty, neither of which was called by the ref. The first one in the 13th minute I thought could have also led to a red card for Matteo Ferrari. Referee Mark Geiger says play on. And on the second instance in the 44th minute, looked to me like a push by Hasun Kamara on Amarikwa. No call there either. Geiger also wasn't convinced by this tumble in the box from Chicago's Florent Cinema Pongol. Watching this replay over and over, I still can't tell whether Montreal defender Heath Pierce nicks him or whether the forward just trips over himself. The game finished 0-0, but there was actually a great goal scored. It just didn't count. It came in the 38th minute, but Montreal's Justin Knapp was flagged for offside by assistant ref Chris Strickland. And the ensuing whistle canceled out this spectacular bite by Jack McInerney. But when we look at the freeze frame, Knapp seems in line with the last defender. Before we leave Toyota Park, we glance over the Kamara stomp on Gonzalo Segares and the one by Eric Miller on Patrick Nyarko, neither of which earned a card. Because these are always tricky. Are they incidental, or do they endanger the safety of an opponent? An argument can be made for both sides. Similar to what we saw in the Chivas RSL match when Nate Sturgis went in on Chris Wingert with the bottom of his cleat exposed. Sturgis got a yellow there. To Red Bull Arena, where we have three questionable challenges to look at. First, the one that got punished with a red card and committed by Tim Cahill only 3 minutes after coming into the game. He left Oscar Bonia Garcia twisting in the air. Even Cahill's teammate Dax McCarty thought that was a red. In the 73rd minute, I thought Cahill's teammate Peggy Luyindala deserved to be sent off for this potential ankle breaker on Luis Garrido. Referee Jair Marufo gave him a yellow instead. Rewind to the 19th minute, and Thierry Henry pushes David Horst from behind and gets whistled for the foul. Pretty innocuous until you see what happens after the whistle. Listen to it here for yourself.
Shadowing him, Thierry Henry, now the acceleration. Horst, though, using his body well, and gets fouled. And got kicked a second time at the end there as Henry was trying to play for the ball.
Memories of the Roger Espinoza incident from a few years ago. But was there also a potential simulation incident involving Henry? From every angle I look at here, I can't see where exactly Garrido touches Henry or breaks his stride. But back to the Luyindala tackle on Garrido. I felt it was identical to the Marcelo Salvas tackle on Toronto's Jermaine Defoe in LA. The Galaxy midfielder, like Luyindola, gets by with a yellow. To Gillette Stadium, where there was a red card shown, and it came in unusual circumstances. Waylon Francis, already sitting on a caution, delays a restart and gets a second yellow with 20 minutes left in the game. Does New England's Charlie Davies embellish here? Sure, but it's irrelevant to the delaying of the restart infraction. And it all fell apart for the Crew in that second half. They'd eventually lose the game 2-1 on a goal that I thought had more than a hint of offside. Looking at the replay, I think Jermaine Jones is offside on the original free kick here, and then again when AJ Soares touches the ball here. Assistant Philippe Briere didn't think so. Columbus could have had another gripe in this one, a potential penalty kick in the 55th minute with the score still tied 1-1. Revolution defender Jose Gonçalves trips up Aaron Schoenfeld near the top of the box, but the Crew forward stays on his feet, only to be brought down by Gonçalves just before the ball goes out of play. I know it's hard to call a PK with the ball crossing the end line, but to me that's a foul. The Revs also wanted a penalty of their own 2 minutes later. Lee Wynn claims Tony Chani committed a handball on his cross. No way! The arm is tucked in. Good no call by referee Jose Carlos Rivero, who I thought was pretty lenient on Gonçalves on another incident in the first half. You see here how the ball rolls out of play, but the Revs center back comes in full bore on Ethan Finley when the Crew winger was clearly pulling up his run. And Gonçalves does this well after the whistle. Listen for yourself here.
Back. Look at that long touch there by Finley, and then he gets melted by the captain.
He only got a yellow from the referee, but I would have been okay with a red in that spot. And we end in Vancouver, where FC Dallas were shut out 2-0, but it looks like they scored a good goal in the 33rd minute through Blas Perez. The goal was called back for an offside, signaled by assistant Babukar Jallo, but the freeze frame says otherwise. The other assistant referee in this game, Joe Fletcher, had a hand in a 60th minute play that I thought deserved a red card. You see how Javon Watson goes over the ball and sends his studs into the knee of Vancouver's Jordan Harvey. I thought that was an easy red card, but Fletcher signals for the top pocket, and Watson gets away with a yellow from referee Ricardo Salazar. And we'll see if anything comes from the end of the game altercation between Dallas manager Oscar Pareja and Vancouver assistant Martin Pert. Boy, if these two teams mate in the playoffs, it should make for some good theater. That's all we have for this week. For our editor, Ravner Aceves, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time.